bench from Coach Nash. Now we go to Coach Udoka.
To kind of build that 15-point lead.
We got some favorable matchups. Got picked on a few things that opened up for us. And turnovers. We created a ton of turnovers. Obviously had 37 points off their 21, and a large part of that was in the fourth quarter. So, like some things, they played some different lineups, and we could exploit a few things as far as that. But credit to them, they kept battling back. I like the way we guarded overall. Other than those late threes, so basically 25, 25, 22, 22 quarter, if not for the 3 late threes. So we defended at a high level and continued that in the fourth quarter.
I think that last run they made, you guys just relaxing a little bit there?
No, I mean, we had really good possessions that we didn't finish off, whether it was offensive rebounds or late fouls, bailing them out. It felt like we defended for 21, 22 good seconds, and then we bailed them out when they got stuck. So that got them back in the game a little bit there, and just finishing a few plays, honestly. Got their three-point shooters got loose a little bit late with Patty Mills on those two. But like I said, other than that, they're not going to quit. They're going to keep pushing, and we just have to do a better job of. Yeah.
You guys disrupted them with the stretch coming out of timeouts. Just what did you do getting into the lanes like that?
Yeah, our activity was great. Just like we've done all series, we want to have bodies in front of bodies, be really physical, and try to get in those passing lanes. Our deflections were crazy number, but like I said, 37 points off of 21 turnovers. That kind of tells us the tale of the game, especially late. Physicality was great. It was breakout transition baskets for us.
How important was the 8 points in the last 48 seconds of the third quarter? They kept making runs at you, but that seemed to kind of put things back to normal.
Yeah, we like I said, we would play a good stretch or two and get that 11, 12-point lead, and then they'd bounce back. Some of our lack of rotations and turnovers on our end kind of got them back into it. So that was big going into the fourth quarter to get that cushion back up, knowing they were going to make another push. And I felt our physicality and attention to detail on certain guys was great. Durant only shooting 3 threes, and Irving going 0 for 7 on a lot of forced, tough, contested ones. That kind of tells the story of how we're defending and the pickup points and all the things that we've been talking about going into the last 2 games.
What do you think of Rob's performance, and how did he respond to the minutes?
He was great. He was fine. Could have honestly played more. Had no problems at all. His confidence is up. And that's what we kind of wanted to see tonight. Lower minute game, although we had him slotted for more. He got to 15 and a half, and he felt comfortable, felt good, looked good, and impacted the game in a positive way.
Tatum's game, just overall, 39 points on one end, 6 steals on the opposite end. Just talk about how he's evolved as a defender. We know who he is as a scorer, but he looked like he was just really active on that end of the floor defensively throughout the night.
Yeah, he is, and he's been that all year for us. I talk about our team as a collective unit, being the #1 defensive team, and that takes everybody's buy-in. And he doesn't always get the credit for that because of his scoring prowess, as I mentioned earlier today. And, you look at Marcus and Rob and some of those guys, some things Al and Jalen are doing. He's another guy that allows us to be who we are defensively and taking the challenge against Durant going into it. So tremendous job in this series, but he's been that all year, solid for us. And like I said, I think that gets overlooked. That's a big part of his game that gets overlooked.
Every time they made on a run, either Jalen or Jason, we kind of just push back and shut the door on resilience. You guys feel like where you have that kind of perfect balance while Brooklyn on the other end is trying to find different things and try to get them back in it.
Yeah, well, I feel we're a complete team where a ton of guys contributed. Obviously we got our 2 leading scorers that can do it on that end, but the way they're being guarded opens things up for everybody else. We exploited a few things tonight that we liked going forward, and to their credit, every time, like you said, they made a small run, they've come up with a big bucket or big play, and that's what we ask of from our leaders. They're doing it on a night-to-night basis, have done it all year, and have grown as far as getting other guys involved. And so that last pass to Al is a kind of reflection of that.
When you see them put somebody who hasn't played in like a month in Blake, does it feel like, all right, this team's starting to grasp at it, and these are opportunities for us to go at them?
Yeah, to some extent, I think if they're not getting the stops, they want to try to match us scoring-wise. And so they're putting in, obviously, another guy that can shoot the ball. And credit, he came in and made some big-time shots. We felt we could take advantage on the other end some. And so it was a little bit of balance as far as that. But they're searching for something there. And I think this is more so than anything, they're trying to match us scoring-wise, being that Claxton and Drummond are, non-threats from the perimeter. And so, great job by Blake coming in ready.
A lot has been made, or was made, of the fourth quarter, the bad clutch time numbers. You had a late loss, might have been against Dallas, where you came out after a tough loss and said, this is good for us. Do you see the benefit from going through that then to now having come into this series and starting to close out the Nets in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I said it then with the Dallas and Miami losses. Those are two close ones late in the year, where they really went after Jason and we didn't make them pay like we had in previous games where teams were blitzing him. And so going forward, it would be beneficial for us. And instead of all the 20-point wins, you got to be in some tight games, knowing how the playoffs is going to be. So that's beneficial. But I think more so than that, just all season, like learning from our early season losses. Like I said, we've tightened up our playbook in the game, and we've learned the players, and they've learned what we're asking of them. So taking those lumps early, all that's kind of coming to fruition with us finishing games now.
KD just 11 shots, and Kyrie struggled from the field. What did you kind of see defensively there?
We're more of the same. We're making it tough. Doing our work early. A lot of those deflections you guys spoke about or steals that we got were, being in denial, being body to body, pushing the catches out, higher pickup points so they can't walk into those three-pointers. And, if they have other guys shooting the most shots or scoring the most points, I feel like we're in good shape.
Is that kind of the point? I mean, Brown, again, went off. But it seems like you're content to let other guys do it because it's not KD and Kyrie.
Yeah, shot attempts is one thing, and that kind of tells a story, but also points. And, you got to focus on these guys, and we're taking risks and making other guys beat us. And credit Bruce that he's making some shots, but we're going to live with something. That's what we'll live with over Durant and Irving going off.
Are you seeing the group's confidence grow, or do you think it's been there since you guys?
Yeah, we've been really good since New Year's and played at a high level overall on offense and defense. So you saw that a while ago, but the playoffs is a different animal. And to see this, happen in the playoffs is great for us. Like I said, it's no big-time blowouts. We've had chances to extend the lead, getting up 15, and they'll whittle it back down. So we'd like to be a little more sharper there when we get those leads. But to go through these and pull out a good win in the fourth quarter in a hostile environment, it only benefits us going forward, and I would say our confidence has been high, but to do it in the playoffs is going to help us going forward.
3-0, closing out's the hardest thing to do. What do you have to do in Game 4 to close out the series and get these guys some extra rest and extra preparation?
Yeah, do what we did in the last few games. Yeah, you're coming. They're going to give you your best punch early, 9-0 and 7-0 today, last two games, and so we want to get off the better starts. But we've withstanded those throughout this series and got ourselves right back into it, including the 17-point deficit last game. And so we don't want to get off to those starts and give them confidence. We want to come out and do what we've done this whole series, which is make it tough on them, and that starts to mentally and physically wear on you. And so more of the same for us. Get off to a better start and